Welcome back. By now, you must have created your clean data, you must have completed your data modeling. Now, we want to go into creating the visualizations themselves. And first, before creating a visualization, it's always ideal, it's always proper, just so you're not going in blind. It's always proper to come up with a blueprint of your data. So, basically, creating a wireframe of what your dashboard would look like. And usually you would want to discuss this, show this wireframe or this mock-up to your stakeholders and have them approve it before starting your development. And this is just so you do not go ahead, build an entire dashboard, and then your stakeholders are not happy with how the dashboard is structured. So let's create a um, a sample of this mockup for our dashboard, and we can use different things to create a mockup. You could use your pen and paper actually and just draw a mockup. And there are some apps that help you as well. Apps like Mockup. So there's this online service called Mockup.ai, and it's what I will be using. It's free, so you could just create mockups of dashboard in minutes. So let's try. I'm going to just go to mockup.ai. So it's mokkup.ai. I'm going to just go in, log in. Um, Again, I'm signing in with my Google account. Um, there's a pro version, but I'm using the free version. So it has some templates if you want, and this is something I created. This is something I created just for fun. It's not an actual dashboard. If you see it, it's just how I want my dashboard to look like before I build the actual dashboard. So it's basically drag and drop. I want to see KPIs at the top. I want to see a line chart, bar chart, etc. So let's create a new mockup, shall we? So let's create a new one. So yeah, we're gonna enter a project name. Let's call this patient wait list. Patient. Patient wait list. Doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna select a normal. Okay, I think those are paid. So I'm gonna use the default version. Just save changes. So basically, you want to think of how your dashboard needs to be structured. So I think our dashboard will have two screens, maybe one and two. Basically, I want some. I'm gonna have KPIs. Da, 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 da. Okay, so I think I want to have, even though I do not like pie chart, but I think I want to have a pie chart that shows me how my case type is split. So I'm just going to drag a pie chart here. Um, okay, so let's just apply any style. They're really rushing. So let's have this here. What this would show would be, let's say, case type split. So this will show the individual case types and how they are split. Um, we could also do, we could have a a bar chart that shows time band and age profile. So let's do. Okay, let's bring a header first of all here. Um, let's bring the default one. So let's call it what do we call our dashboard now? Uh, we could call our dashboard patients. Patient weekly dashboard. Just, I mean, just doesn't really have to be perfect. We can change that later. We're just trying to agree on a structure. Um, I may want to have some KPIs or some, at the top that shows something. Uh, I should have KPIs here. Yeah, so let's bring some KPIs here. Um, just do this guy here, and basically we could have something that shows, current year, previous year, current year versus previous year, wait lists. So we could say when I did this, say total wait list. Current year versus previous year. So again, this is just a mock-up, right? It's not accurate. We could have this could even just be here. We could have a pie chart or a bar chart rather that shows some sort of trend. So we could have a column chart here that shows some sort of trend. Right, so I could have something here like this that shows visuals time band and then age profile. Right, so yeah, and then we could have maybe top 5 specialty, something like that. So we could have like a vertical column chart or a table or something that shows top 5 specialty. Let's just do basic. So we could do top 5 specialty or top 10 specialty. Top 10 specialty. So let's say we have top 10 specialty there. And again, this will be discussed to your stakeholders again. And if they agree, then you carry on. Or again, you're building for the customer, not for yourself. So whatever the customer says is what you do. Right. So but I'm assuming our stakeholders are going to agree to this. So that's why I'm just going with this. So we would have monthly trend as well. So let's do a line chart. Something that shows monthly trend for both inpatient and outpatient. Let me just we could do something like this. Apply. So we could say the inpatient and outpatient trend, monthly trend, inpatient and outpatient, and outpatient. So then we could have this. So this is just a mock-up. So I mean, of how our dashboard will look, right? Just so we are guided. I mean, not just placing things anywhere. So of course we could have filters, right? So we could have filters. So we could have filters for different things. So yeah, we know how our dashboard will look, right? We know how our dashboard will look. Let's exit this. Move this here. So here is something you can present to your stakeholders and say, okay, look, this is how our dashboard is going to look at the end. And basically, this is just building your blueprint, right? So let's start with our dashboard. So this is our first screen. Let's try and build this first screen or build this first screen. Let's go to Power BI and let's take out these guys that we've brought to our screen before. So before we start, I'm going to go to the View tab and I want to show grid lines, and this allows me, align my visuals properly. And let's do snap to grid too, just so my views are snapped to grid. Now, let's agree on. And I usually, how do I do my dashboard designs? I most likely would do a lot of research, decide on this design colors, etc. So I'm going to just let's agree on a color to use. Before we start, I want to adjust my canvas, and I want I want to have a color on the background. I don't want it to be white. I want it to be sort of grayish, sort of. And let's set transparency to 15. So transparency set to 50. All right, so it's grayed out. So there are some measures we're going to use in our filters, right? There are some measures we're going to use in our visuals rather. So let's create those measures. So we are going to go to a table view, and we're going to create a new table. New table here. We're going to create a new table, and basically what I'm trying to do is create a measure folder. So all my measures are not scattered in different folders. So we talked about this in the course, and we're just gonna click OK. So let's create a measure first of all, and go to our let's create a new measure. And when I want to create a measure that finds the latest month, because remember our data is from 2018 to 2021. So again, we are not. Because before we do, I remembered saying our date is not properly formatted. So if you go to our all data, you can see dates is not in date format. So let's fix that first. So I'm going to go to edit query. Let's fix that first. So see, I have 31 1 20 28. So this looks like it's month, date, day, day, month, year, day, month, year. So if I convert this to dates, well, if I convert this to data, we tried it before and it gave us error. So let's delete it. There's a little trick we can try. Clicking on that drop down again, or right clicking rather, on this text type, where you convert it. If we click on using locale, it's going to give us an option. Why is it taking so long? Okay, now I'm going to change the data type to date, and I'm going to change the locale to, again, because our date is using dash, and we are currently, Power BI is expecting a slash. So let's see. I'm going to just try, let's just, hey, so I'm trying to find which locale uses the dash instead of the slash. So I settled on Dutch Aruba. I see they use the dash. So let's try that out. But then if I do that, it's going to give me Dutch. And I don't want Dutch. You know what? Let's go to English. It uses the slash. Let's try this out first. Let's see if it works. Okay, so it works. It converted it. So basically, change the locale to changing it to my current locale. So that's Nigeria, and it works. So we have a date in date format. So so yeah, it's just gonna load that into the model, and I was gonna create measures. So we're still waiting for it to load. So we have our data now loaded, and you can see our archive date is now in proper date format. So now let's create our measures. Our first measure that I want to create is something that will get me the latest month weekly. So the latest month in our data set, I want to get the wait list for that latest month. So let's create a new measure. And I'm going to call it latest month wait list. Latest month wait list, and we're going to use the calculate function for that. And so basically we want to sum the total. So basically I want to see how many we have in the latest month, meaning the least month in our data set. So basically I want to sum all data, but not I want to sum the total field in the all data, right? And then so the calculate function takes in an expression and takes in a filter. So we've entered the expression comma. Now let's enter the filter. My filter is going to be where the archive date is equal to the latest dates in the data set. So we're going to say where all data, all underscore data, ALL underscore data, it's a capital letter G now. I believe I saw that option. All data, archive dates, yeah. Because there was a space. It's actually all data, not all underscore data. What am I saying? All underscore data. All data archive dates is equal to the max of all data archived dates. So where the date is equal to the maximum date, and close that bracket for the max. And I think we should have that. Let's see. Does it give an error? So basically, I want to see the number of wait list patients we have in where the archive date is equal to the most recent archive date. So basically, last month. But is the archive date monthly or yearly? I think it's monthly. So let's drag that into view and see what we get, or if we get anything at all. Let's use a card. So we have 709,000 patients who fit that bill. Just for context, let's see how many patients do we have in total actually. Let's do a card. We have 25 million. All right, great. Nice. So 709,000, not bad. So that's one measure. Let's move that measure to our table. I want it to be in, I call the table, I should have called the measures table. So I want it to be in that place. So it's there. I'm going to delete this column. I'm going to delete this guy. You can just hide it. So I'm going to rename this and call it measures table. Okay, so I'm going to delete this. So I'm going to create a second measure. And basically, it's going to tell me for the present year or previous year rather. I want to know the latest month. I want to know the total number of patients that we had in the previous year latest month. So similar to that, I'm going to create a new measure again. I just realized I did make a mistake when creating a measure table. Clicked on the wrong option. So let's do this. It's enter data actually. So measure table. I'll click on OK. Load. So we have measure. Ooh, it worked. We have another table called measure table. Let's calling this measure table 2. Damn it. So I want to move this measure to measure table 2 and delete this guy. So click on this again. We're going to measure table 2. That's the proper one. Yeah. So now I can delete this measure table if it's not deleted already. Let's remove that column. Delete from model. Okay, so this is a proper measure table. Let's rename it. Let's call it measure underscore measure table join together in camel case. Okay, now press enter. Yeah, so that's fine. Now we have proper measure table. So let's create a new measure in the measure table. So new measure, and I'm going to call this previous year latest month wait list. So previous year PY latest month wait list. That will be equal to, we're going to use the calculate function again. We're going to say calculate. Let's close that bracket, shift and enter to go to a new line. Again, we want to sum all data total. We want to sum all data total. And our filter, remember, calculate takes in, we close the bracket for sum, close the bracket for sum, takes in an expression and then a filter. So shift enter to enter our filter. And we want to, our filter is where the date is equal to the last date of the, so we're going to take the last day of the year and we're going to, we're going to take the highest month and we are going to subtract 12 months from it. So say we do this, we're going to say where all data archive date is equal to, if we say equal to max, we say equal to max all data archive month, that will give us the present year, or we want the previous year. So we're going to just minus 12 from it. So that will take us to the same time last year, right? So how do we minus 12 from it? We can do edate, and edate will give us the start date, and the start date will be this maximum date. And how many months do we want to remove? How many months before that start date do we want to? So we want to do 12 months before that start date, which will give us same period last year. And we can close this. We have edate closed, and this looks fine. So again, if you think I'm going too fast, feel free to pause the video and look at my script, try and understand them before doing them. So yeah, so let's bring PY latest month to view. Let's use a card, and it says blank. That's weird. It says blank. I'm gonna try something. I'll try something. says 0. Okay, that's basically saying I want it to show as a number in case of a null. That's why I put this plus 0. So in case there is nothing for that period, I want it to use to replace it with a 0. So I don't want blank showing in my data. Into the latest month. The card. Okay, 709K. So I think this is fine. So we've created those two measures. What do we do next? So I'm looking at our metric. I just discovered I made a mistake. I now see why it's showing. So when we drag this into view, it's showing 0, and that's because I want to go 12 months prior, not 12 months later. And what I did was 12 months later. Let's use this for a card. What I'm doing is 12 months later, not 12 months prior. 12 months prior will be minus 12, not plus 12. So let's correct that. Just occurred to me. So yeah, so now okay, we have something that looks that sort of makes sense. So again, we want to this is basically what we want, right? We want to see the latest month wait list and the previous year latest month wait list. And remember from our mock-up here, I think that's current year, previous year, that's what we want to see. So let's sort of put it in a card here. I'm going to bring latest month into view as well. Let's use a card. And so yeah, we have these two cards in our dashboard, and we've not started formatting it yet. We just have these two cards here, and I'm trying to see if I can use another visual for it. There's a new card format that I've not played with yet. I'm going to do latest month, that new card format, latest month. It doesn't really do much. Let's see if we can edit that. Actually, I can put in more than one visual here, so I can bring in previous month, previous year. So I have two in one. Well, is this what I want though? So it's a visual I'm looking for, and let's try KPI visuals. Let's bring latest month. At least. Okay, not giving me what I want. Okay, this is not what I want. So we'll just keep this. We'll delete this guy. And we'll keep our card here. So I have my card here. Let's make it a bit smaller. Adjust the values too. So layout, single row, style, card. We could do table as well. So let's do card. Space between cards, we could reduce the space between cards. Let's do callout values. Let's adjust the callout values to say 30. Yeah, and color, we've not decided on a color yet, so we'll just stick to black. Label, let's adjust the label size to 10. Right, and I use normal for it. Let's put it below the value. Right, so here we have that. We have all this all our values. Yeah, so we have our card. Not really feeling card yet. Let's do effect and we turn off background. Um, that's for the outer part of the card. Let's see if we can turn off background for these values too. Layouts. Let's centralize it. Reference labels. The best. Do we want to add images to this? Let's turn off the background for the cards too. Borders, turn off borders too. I'm not a fan of borders. So I could put a shape there later. Well, let's leave it like this for now. So we've sorted out this card here. We want to do case type split, right? So split by case type, and we'll use a chart for that. Let's use a donut chart. I'm feeling donut charts more. So let's bring in a donut chart, and we have a donut chart here. We have a donut chart here, and we want to do by case type. So legend will be case type, and we want to bring in totals. Values with totals. We see how many we have per day, so we can see our splits based on case type: outpatient, day case, inpatient. Let's adjust the color a bit. For my title, I would adjust the title later. Background should go. I do not want backgrounds too. I sort of have a design idea in mind. So background should go genres, legends. I want legends at the top center. I do not want the legend titles. I just want outpatient, day case, and inpatient. Yeah. So for the slices, do I want a different color? I'll adjust my inner radius. Let's do 50%. Great. So inner radius. We'll adjust title in a bit. Data label. I prefer outside. No. Let's definitely outside. Definitely outside. Do I want to reduce the size of my values? I think 8 is fine. All right, great. So we've sorted out the second guy. Now we want to do time band and age profile. So I want to add some dynamism, if I should call it that, to our dashboard. And basically, I want to be able to. Currently, we are looking at the sum of this our pie chart is looking at the total cases, right? Total number of patients, right? I want to be able to go between total number of patients to average number of patients or even median number of patients, right? So let's create new metrics or new measures rather. So I'm going to go to the measures table and I'll create a new measure, right? And I'm going to call that new measure, let's call it average wait list. I think that's a good name for it. So let's call it average wait list. So new measure, average wait list. Oops. So let's call it average. So average wait list. Right, and that will be equal to average of the totals function. Right, the average of the total column rather. So it's going to be AVG, or average in this case, all data total. Right, and this gives us the average of that total column. I'm also going to create another metric, a measure for, I spelled my average wrong. I'm going to create another measure for the median wait list, and then I'll create one for the total wait list, the sum of all the wait lists. So let's call this median wait list. And this will be equal to median of all data total, and we have this median wait list, and we create one more for the total wait list, which is sum of everything. So new measure so let's call this total wait list to be equal to sum, which is what our chart is currently looking at. Sum of everything, sum of all data total, and that's total wait list. So again, I made a mistake with the spelling of my average. I'm going to correct that. So I made a mistake here, and it's going to be average. So next, I want my users to be, instead of just having my visuals fixed showing totals, I want my users to be able to select, do I want to see average, do I want to see total, do I want to see the median. So we're going to create another table. We're going to call it calculation method. And how do we do that? So we're just going to click on enter data, right? We're going to manually enter the data. That's another way of adding data to your Power BI. Column name, let's call it calc method. And for values, we want to say the different values are total. We'll add a new row, average, and median. So we can load this. The table name will be calculation method. Load. Can load it. And we should have it in our model soon. Okay, so it should be in our model. Where are you? Calculation method. And basically it's like a dummy table, right? There's really no value inside. But what I want to do is use it to create a filter. So let's drag this here. And we want it to be a filter. So and I do not like this type of filters. I want my slicers rather to be a tile. So I want it to be horizontal. Let's move this a bit to tile. My selection, I want single select, so I can select either one. I can't select more than one. I don't want any headers. For my values, we have find general effects, data formats, visual borders, no visual borders, background, ignore the background. I want to change it to be horizontal, not vertical. Uh, so okay, so now it's in an horizontal format. So here I'll put this somewhere, right? We'll figure out where to place this later. I just thought of it, it wasn't really in our mockup. Basically, I want to be able to switch between mean, average, mean. Did I write mean? It should be average, median. It should be median, not mean. There's my table. So when I edit my table, it should be median, not mean. I don't know how I wrote mean. It should be median. Page value should be median. Okay, so I can close and apply. It should be median, not mean. So I want to be able to switch between total, average, and median. I'm just going to wait for that to load. Average, median. Why do I still have mean? Okay, shouldn't have mean because it was selected. So average, median, total. So now it does nothing right now, and for good reason, right? So we've not really made it do anything. But what we're going to now do is to create a measure that allows us switch between these values, and we're going to use the switch function, right? So basically, let's create a measure first. So let's call this measure new measure. Let's call it total, average, or median wait list. So call it total, average, or median wait list. And that's equal to, we use the switch function, switch, right? And we want to basically look through each value in this our calculation method table. So it's going to be, we're going to say values in our calculation method table. So values calculation method, we want to go through all the values in that calculation method table, and we want to say when the value is total, right? When that value is total, let's bring this to another line so it makes sense. I feel like I should make it look better. Right, so switch, we're using the switch function. So the first thing we want to specify is our expression. We want to look through all the values in our calculation method table. And when we look for the values, we want to say that when the value is total, and again, it's case sensitive, right? So you have to be sure of the case. When the value is total, we want to call on this guy, total wait list. We want that value to show up. So total wait list is what we want. When the value is total, we want these values to show up. When the value is average, we want the average wait list measures that we created to be activated. When the value is median, I believe, and you can see why we created those measures, average, total, and median, so we can call them in this function or in this measure rather. So median wait list. So that's what our switch function is saying. So go through all this our calculation method, right? And when we select total, we want total wait list to be activated. When we select average in all this, we want that to be activated. When we select median, we want this to be activated. So um, that's our function there. So okay, so now that's created. So let's go to our do not chat first. So in our do not chat, instead of having it to be sum of total, which is basically what this total will do now, we clean this up and we bring these new measures that we create, average, whatever. And currently, what we are seeing right now is total, right? So this is the total. If we switch to median, you can see it changes and we are getting the median value 29.64. If we switch to average, it also changes, we're getting it. So basically this has made our chart dynamic, sort of, in that we can switch between average, median, and totals. So I believe I like it this way. It's more useful. Instead of us just being fixed to total, we can always switch between the average, um, patient number, median patient number, total patient number. So we have this guy. So now we want to bring in second chart based on our design. We want to bring in this time band and age profile. All right, so let's do age profile first. Let's do a bar chart. We'll edit all this later. So let's bring in I want to do something that sort of brings two different categories together. We're going to look at our profile by um, time band and by age profile. So let's bring in a stacked bar chart. Let's bring in a stacked bar chart. Oops, what I did was convert the button to a stacked bar chart. That doesn't make any sense. Click out, bring in a stacked bar chart. And yeah, let's bring that here. And we're gonna have it here like this. Right, so what do I want to do? I want to, for my y-axis is going, instead of having just total, it's going to be this guy. So we can always flip between total, average, and median. And for my x-axis is going to be time bands. I'm going to see different time bands. And you can see we have 18, 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 9 to 12, etc. And blank, we have blank. So that's fine for now. Then for legends, I'm going to bring something in legend. So this color, this blue can be broken into that different categories. So I want to break this blue color into different categories. I want to break it into age profile. So let's bring age profile into legend. And you can now see all my age profiles are here. Blank is in blue. I have purple, I have orange, I have blue. Different age profiles for the different time bands. So I can see, for example, people that are within the 18-month time band, that are 18 months plus, and between that have stayed 18 months plus, rather, I mean time bands, and are between the age of 16 to 64. Their median wait list is 136. You can see their total as well. For total, I can see the total is about 4 million of them. So this is what let's do a bit of cleaning too. I don't like the fact that we have blanks. Let's change that. So let's go back to our query editor. I did the query. And I know notice I have blanks in both time band and age profile, so I'm just going to highlight both of them, go to transforms, go to replace values, and I want to change, I want to replace all my blanks with no input. And just to let people know that okay, there was no input given. So I mean, there are many ways to handle blanks. You can remove them totally from your data. You can replace them with something, like I just did with no input. You can replace them with an accepted value. So maybe the median value if it's a numerical column, or a generally accepted value. Well, I'm just going to do no input. All right, so we're waiting for that change to be loaded into our model. Okay, it's taking a while. Okay, so all rows are loaded now. So we have it as no input here in our data. We have it as no input. So yeah, we're getting close. So we also wanted to see our top specialty, right? So we want to see our top. I think we want to see top 5 or top 10 specialty. We want it to be here. So let's create that, and we're going to use a multi-row card. I think we can use a multi-row card here. So let's go back to Power BI. So let's bring in a multi-row card, and do I have a multi-row card here? Oh yeah, I do. So I have a multi-row card here. Just gonna click on it, and let's just drag this into where we plan to put it. Right. So we're gonna adjust all this later. So I'm gonna drag what I want into here. I'm gonna bring specialty name. So these are all my specialty. I'm going to bring in the values, and that will be total average or median week list. So basically it shows me my values here, so I can see accident and emergency, etc. I can adjust, right? I can click on this here, this filter here, my filter pane, and select top something, right? So I could do show item when the value as it currently is being is less than, but I can do actually this is the wrong way to go about it. So hold on, let's format this first. Actually, we should do that from the specialty name actually, and we do, instead of saying basic filter, we could do top n. Let's top n. Let's do top 5 items by this value. So what do we want to do top 5 by? One of the top 5 by whatever this value is, total average or median. And if we apply that filter, we should have our top 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy with 175, ophthalmology, orthopedics, and um, otolaryngology. Oh, that's a mouthful. So yeah, so we have our top five, right? We can always, let's add our other two charts and then we continue. So we want to do for both inpatient and outpatient. And for inpatient has about two different types. So let's bring in a line chart. Let's see if we can just do everything in one single line chart. I'm going to move this a bit up to allow us to have enough space for our chart. So bring in a line chart. And for my line chart, I want to just do one single chart to see if that works. I'm going to do one single chart, and for my y-axis, obviously it's going to be this measure. My x-axis, it's a time-based chart, so it's going to be my archive date. Right, so it's going to be my archive date, and my legend is going to be our case type. I believe we're going to do case type as legend. So we have day case, inpatient, outpatient. So we can see inpatient and outpatient. Oh, I really don't like that we have. So you see, outpatient as because of the different value ranges, outpatient are sort of taking the shine in the chart, and we can't really see any patterns in our inpatient and day case. So I'm going to create two charts, right? For this guy, I'm going to just filter out. I'm going to just remove. I'm going to just keep day case and inpatient. Right, so day case and inpatient. Oh, who says we can't even have three? Right, so we could have three, but let's just stick to two. Let's do day case and inpatient. I'm going to copy this chart, and let's for this guy we will just do outpatient. So we have outpatient on one chart. So outpatient, that way we can see different movements in the chart. So now we built this dashboard, and it's not looking nice. It looks, I mean, we need to do some a lot of, you know, aesthetics to the dashboard. So let's start. Let's start. Okay, let's start first. So let's do something. I'm gonna move my face over here since I need this space. So first of all, I have my card. I have all these visuals here. So let's start with the card. So let's start with the pie chart. Or already we're 1 hour into the video. Let's stop this video here and let's ensure everybody has gotten to this point. And then in the next video, which will be the last video, we are going to now do aesthetics to this dashboard. So let's finish this, ensure you have everything set, and then see you in the next video.